Hey everybody, Z. Hope everybody's doing good. And as always, thank you so much for your continued support, your comments, and your thumbs up. I need it. It's hard when you're shadow banned as bad as I am and shut out. So I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm going to shoot this video and put it on multiple platforms. So I'm going to try to keep it quick. I had some comments today over on my BitChute channel, and it touched my heart. When I put some of this hard content up, how are people going to receive it? And the people who have been abused in church, they're so thankful of it because, wow, it didn't just happen to me. And now it explains why. So the double cross is what I'm showing you as the image today. And the title of this video, I think, is going to be, Are All Christians Double Crossed? I'm probably going to put this video with another title to it. The content will be similar. Just stay with me because I'm going to add things to it. But from here on out, I think we're going to use this as the basis, our big component in everything from here on out. Okay, here we go. Are all Christians double crossed? What does a double cross mean? It's a Masonic symbol. You'll see it on people who wear it, like that Jim Caviezel dude, being a Knights Templar and all that. It means the person who shows up really shows up to save you from a mess you're in. It's the same person that's going to do it to you again, or he's the person who did it. It's called being double crossed. And I can tell you that all Christians are absolutely double crossed. To lead into this, I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story, and I'm going to go strictly by the facts. And I'm going to let you make a decision. And it's a story of the biggest cover-up of child trafficking ever. This blows Epstein out of the water. This blows Puff Daddy and fucking TD Jakes on all fours being the power bottom, taking it up his poop chute. I mean, this is going to blow everything. This is going to just blow it out. The largest child trafficking cover-up ever, I'm going to expose right now. And you make a decision on it. So let me just give you a little story, a little background, and try to describe to you what's taking place here and how this cover-up, how they pulled off this cover-up. You've watched all these raids going on where they get the pedo dude, and the SWAT team comes in. They got all their riot gear and shit on, and they're all got their big guns and their weapons and all this stuff, and they go in, take the dude down, and you've seen all this and the setup for it, and they've got to wait and catch them in the act. With this perp is with one of these children, and it's all timed out and everything. Usually you'll find there's some informant involved, someone who's come out and turning this person in, and so this whole investigation goes on, and they come in, and it's very political because anytime there is a child trafficking scenario taking place, it always involves people of extreme power and positional power and wealth, because that's who goes after these children. It's not cheap. It's just part of this power thing. It's a sickness in the mind. The Native Americans called it the Wetiko mind virus. It's the salvation mind virus. And so anyway, okay, gonna work through this fast. I want to thank Dr. Ammon Hillman, and I hope I don't screw this up, Doctor. He's the Greek philologist, I think the best in the world, who has just opened probably the greatest treasure we've ever had is Dr. Hillman. Thank you. Love you, doctor. And I hope I don't screw this up. Okay, so it's 4 a.m. in the morning, and there's a raid going to go down. It's in a public park, which is kind of a park/cemetery. You've been to the big cities like New York, where they have Central Park, or in LA, and sometimes these parks were donated land, and so they were once owned by estates. So on these estates, there were homes, but they always had their cemeteries that were on the property. So it's not uncommon that a lot of these public parks were donated land to include cemeteries. So in this particular park, there's a cemetery there, and this particular perp does his deal in the cemetery in the early morning hours, as part of the rituals that they go through. So it's 4 a.m. and they've got, the informant has, come out and told what's going on. They know he's going to be there at this time. So the SWAT team, the team's ready to go, and they come into the park, and this is all this one team does, by the way. They're quite large. and they want to catch this particular dude in the act of doing it. So one of the informant who actually tips him off is one of the children that this has happened to them, and this particular informant is really pissed off with the perp because he's done something really bad to him. And anyway, so it's 4 a.m. again, and they catch him, and they go in this park, and sure and shit, there he is, and he's naked, and he's with a boy. And they see this thing going on, and SWAT team is just about ready to fucking puke when they see what's taking place. I mean, they're disturbed. And the one informant they go, is this him? And he said yes. And he goes, I'll go to him. So the young boy goes up to team's waiting, and the young boy goes in to identify him, and he kisses him. I don't mean like kisses him on the cheek. I mean, he goes up to him, grabs around his waist, blows his hair back, and puts a fucking smooch down on his mouth, and they're slopping tongues, and he gives him the big kiss, and it's so fucking gross. Like I said, SWAT team's puking, and they said, that's it. So they rush the team in, and they get in here, and the first thing they asked, as this thing goes down, and it's all startling, and they got their their torches and all that and their lights, and the little boy that's there with the perpetrator, he gets up and he runs off. We'll come back to that in a second, but the first thing they ask this man, are you, and they say his name, and then he responds. They say, are you Jesus of Nazareth? And he said, I am he. Little boy gets up and runs off, and he's naked, and as he runs off, a medicated bandage wrapped around his penis falls off. The next thing this man says is, this Jesus of Nazareth is, oh, I see you brought out the big special team tonight, paraphrasing. You brought out the big boys, the big weapons. I am not a child trafficker, he says. These children belong to me, and you're going to scandalize me. And he uses a very specific word. He uses, I am not an alestes. That's a pirater of children. The team says, take him down, and they fall down, and they take him down, apprehend him, put the cuffs on him, so to speak, get his fucking ass out of here. He's got seminal fluids and drugs and shit in his beard. He's fucked up. He's naked. And he's with as it says very specifically in the Greek, he's with a prepubescent boy in the act and of castration and or circumcision while performing a sex act. It's the initiation rite. That's right there in John 14, 51 and 52. Jesus Christ is caught at 4 a.m. in that cemetery park performing an initiation rite and of castration and or circumcision, engaging in a sexual act with a prepubescent boy. That's your Jesus. Meanwhile, the disciples, these young apostles, are sitting over here to the side watching the whole thing go down. And by the way, they're all children. As we come to find out, all the apostles, these children, these disciples, are all children, aged, I think, 9 to 17. They're all child prostitutes. Jesus Christ, this man called Yeshua, that you call Jesus Christ, is a child trafficking, transgender, fruitcake, drug addicted, cross-dressing, child molesting piece of shit. Son of God, prophet, whatever he is, claims to be as his cover. And he's running a child trafficking operation. And I'll run you through the rest of the story real quick. The next day, the crowd gets him, and they beat the crap out of him because they fucking had it with him. He won't fucking leave the kids alone. And people have fucking had it with these child traffickers. They take him, they throw his ass up on the cross with 2 other child traffickers, not thieves. Both are alestes. And they throw his ass up there, and they do the crucifixion. But he's still fucking drugged out of his mind. fucking screaming, I'm thirsty, because this drug that he's on, this, I think, if I'm right, almonds, the dip sass, causes extreme thirst and dehydration. And he screams out, you know the story, I'm so thirsty. And they put the cotton thing on the hyssop branch and stick that thing in his mouth, and buck, he's out. So whatever they gave him just either killed him, or we got a big maybe here with this. Maybe it just knocked him out. It didn't actually kill him, because he didn't break his legs. And they do that to everyone that's crucified. So we'll get to that later. But going back to who this is, and this is not my opinion, it's not Ammon's opinion, this is the original Greek in your Bible in John 14, 51, and 52. This is what goes down at 4 a.m. in the Garden of Gethsemane. Your guy you called this Yeshua dude, this Jewish freaking mystery school dude, is caught performing a sex act, an initiation rite on a prepubescent boy. I know, shocker, isn't it? But if you sit there and you let it sink in, and you let it just process it out, holy shit, does that not just fucking explain everything? No wonder all these priests and pastors are raping the boys. Holy shit. They've taken this dude, they want to continue doing their act, they want to continue going through their initiation rites of doing this shit with the children. These are child molesters. What better way to do it than take this dude Jesus? We're going to whitewash him, give him blonde hair and blue eyes, and have them write this whole story, this fake story about him. He's a great teacher, lover of children and everything else, and put it up there out front, and have everybody worshiping and going to him for salvation. And that's our cover, so we continue doing what we're doing underground in the back room of our churches. We're going to hide it right in plain sight, and we're going to get everybody to run cover for us, so we can continue running the largest industry in this world, which never stopped, the sacrifice of our children. It never stopped. And the Christians of this world have been double-crossed, having you worship somebody for salvation who is a child molester. So you can go to church every Sunday morning and participate in this shit. And I'll go through, I'm not doing this video, but I'm going to go through all the rituals that you do on Sunday morning, and every fucking word that comes out of your mouth, and that gospel and everything else are child sacrifice ritual rites and words that have been covered up. And not only are you participating in it, but you're promoting it, funding it, running cover for it. And you're wondering why now in this country 80% of all little girls are being molested by their daddies, and now it's 1 in 4 boys by the age of 16. That's not my opinion. These are facts. I'm not going to tell you in this video who the real Christ is, the one they've hidden from you, who our real parents are, who the real creator is, but they've covered this whole thing up and put an imposter in place so they can continue doing what they do. There's your true story. I'm at 13 minutes. I got to cut this thing off. I'm shooting it in 1080, so my time limit's up. I'm going to do the next videos. We'll continue on the complete story of the whole, everything from start to beginning, from his birth all the way through until his death at age 33. But let me ask you one thing before I close. You give me any reason, you give me any fucking justification why a 33-year-old grown man is naked in a public park at 4 a.m. with a naked prepubescent boy, with a little group of little boys over to the side. Give me one fucking justification, period, of why that took place. Now you know why. Now you know the truth. Hard to swallow. Maybe not for him, but hard to swallow, isn't it? But it's also liberating, because now you know why all this shit is going on. We've all been double-crossed, we've all been duped, we've all been lied to, and they've got us worshiping and serving their fucking sicko fucking shit that they do, and Yeah. Anyway, got to cut it off. I'll shoot the next one's following behind it. I'm going to give you all the supported documentation. I'm going to give you all the scriptures in the original Greek. I'm going to fill this thing in. So I don't want to leave any doubt in you, because this just scratched the surface, just scratches the surface on the cover up and what they've been doing and who this guy really was and who John the Baptist was and who the Apostle Paul was and who all these players were and who Mary Magdalene really was. And you're going to fucking want to puke, and you're going to get pissed, and you're going to realize we've been fucked over and double-crossed and duped. And it's time you become acquainted with the real Christ, the one they hid from you. Anyway, I'm out. I'll see you soon.